Oh, hello. As a director, you like using long choreographed sequence shots. I was wondering what influences you to do that. And Joss means God in Filipino.
Oh yeah. And it didn't before me. Thank you, I didn't know that. Wow, I'm so into myself, I forgot about the first part of the question.
What influences you to do sequence shots?
You know, your long take, your single master that goes a long way and it covers a lot of ground, it's like a drug. It should be used recreationally, but you can become addicted. I'm looking at you, early Brian De Palma. And the thing I love about it is that it puts you in a space, and it moves you through that space in a way that makes the space more real to me than if you cut. It also, there's a frisson between the actors that is just not there when you're getting some of this coverage and you're turning around and getting somebody else's. I also should turn on awkward moment. I think some of my favorite long takes, there are the great ones like Touch of Evil, where you can't believe the camera's still going. And then there are the great ones like Crimes and Misdemeanors. There's a scene between Mark Landau and Angelica Houston. You would never know the entire scene is one take. Those are the ones that really dazzle me. There's also a longer single take in Touch of Evil than the opening. The opening is very flashy, but there's one between Charlton Heston and Orson Welles later on that's about 5 minutes long. It doesn't present itself as that. It just keeps you in there. It sucks you in. If you use it at the wrong time, you're going to find that out in the editing room, and you're going to cut it up. So it's a dangerous tool. I used it in Serenity for a very specific reason. Everything was very disjointed. Everything was time. Was where are we? Oh, we're in a dream. It's a flashback. Oh, it's a hologram. It's an escape. What's going on? And then when we got to the ship, I wanted to say, look, this is solid ground, literally, by showing all of it and by showing the connection between everybody. So the influences, again, look at James Mason in A Star is Born, right before The Man Who Got Away, which is also one take and is phenomenal. Judy Garland's amazing. But before that, there's a scene of James Mason going into a club, trying to figure out which girl he's going to sleep with, talking to the maitre d' about which one he can have. It's a kind of an ugly scene emotionally, but it's a gorgeous scene, and it's all one take. And again, you don't notice. You're just sort of sucked in, and it just puts you in that world. So there are a lot of influences, because it's a great device if it's not abused.
Hello? Angel killed his ally Robbie near the end of the show, and he didn't show much remorse after the fact. Okay. Did you mean with that you need to do evil acts in order to accomplish greater good?
I'm sorry, who killed whom? Oh, Angel killed Drogon. Drogon was the guy who couldn't lie and lived in a tree. I don't make this stuff up. That's what happened. And of course, Giles killed Ben rather mercilessly. Ultimately, what's interesting to me is when people we love get to a place where they have to do something we don't love, that they have to do something that is maybe reprehensible for the greater good. It's a dicey thing because there are so many instances in life where we're confronted with that and it's not okay. Waterboarding. In fiction, you can say this evil is so terrible that we can do these things, but it does take a toll. It's supposed to take a toll on Angel. And if they hadn't canceled the show, totally would have had a sad time about Drogon. He would have been all mopey about Drogon for like 7 episodes. I don't think ultimately he would show much remorse because of what was at stake. But then look at the structure of that episode. from the, very early in the season, I said, we're going to do The Godfather. We're going to do Today We Can Take Care of All Family Business, which is not exactly a heroic model to be building from, but we're going to put them in a position where that's how they have to do it. So it's always more interesting if your heroes, are not too clean cut, too even.
Can you describe the process you go through when you're writing a script?
It's a little something like this. Oh, I have an idea. Oh God! Oh God! I'm hungry. Oh, we mask. I feel better. I'm hungry. That's very sad, but also true. The process with me, let's assume that, I don't have a plot laid out. I have an idea. Basically, I'll have this idea, and twice in my life, it's actually come with a structure. One was a spec that I sold for a bunch of money that never got made, which I would do a few times. One was Cabin in the Woods, where it laid itself out in 3 acts. When that happens, you write it, and you write it as fast as you possibly can, because that would probably never happen again. It's happened to me twice. But just having an idea, a premise, a character, something that's nagging at you, is the thing that brings you in the room. And then you start the best part of writing, the thing that I've been doing with the Avengers. Well, now I'm past that into the work of the thing. But just the free associating, the building the characters, the moments, and everybody's invited. Come to this giant party in my brain, and I'll see who I end up talking to. And that is why I love writing more than any other thing. It is so much fun. Then eventually it gets hard. That's when the hunger and the internet and porn. Endless porn. Because building the structure past, fun ideas into something that's organic and surprising, interesting, and has a third act. That's the tough work. That's the part where all of my friends who actually enjoy writing, and a lot of great writers don't, but the ones who do, that's where they would just we call each other. Drew Goddard and I call each other all the time. Help me! Why would he do this? Good. And we rely on each other a lot at that time. And then once that's really built, you start papering the cracks, which is sort of the other great thing. Beginning and the end where you're building the little moments and you have so many things in place that you realize, if he says this, I can use it here, and this says this about them. So ultimately, the process is fun, hunger, porn, depression, fun.